Hey guys, it's Kaylee. Today we are going to be doing another deep dive into brands that I frequently come across. I have gone through the comments over all of the deep dives that I have done in this series and written down all of you guys' suggestions on brands that you would like to see deep dived. Starting to go through those today, and today we are going to be talking about Chicos. If you guys are new to this series, I do have a playlist titled Deep Dives, and this is where I go through the eBay solds and try to figure out what is selling well in some more regular brands that you might come across pretty frequently. All right, here we go. Let's do this. So I'm going to just type in Chicos, and we're going to leave it at that. It should filter, yes. I think Chico's actually does have some jewelry and stuff, but we are just going to filter to women's clothing. They do not make men's clothing that I know about. So let's just focus on clothing for today. So we are filtered to clothing. You can see that there are 300,000 results. That's a lot of stuff to get through. So let's see if we can narrow this down and try to figure out what exactly is selling well in this brand. Like I said, I feel like this brand is just kind of a pain point for me. I come across a lot of it as well, and it does seem so high quality and it retails for a lot, but man, it just seems to sit for me specifically over the years. It's just getting harder and harder to pick up. So I'm glad I'm doing this. Let's see. So we are going to go to solds. I just want to see generally how the brand's doing. So we had 300,000 plus available results. In general, we have 57,000 plus in the solds. That is an incredibly low sell-through rate. I can't even calculate that right now, but very, very low. So the likelihood of finding something that is going to sell quickly and for good money and that someone's going to be able to find it is very, very slim in Chico's these days. And I think that's just because there's an abundance of it and it's somewhat oversaturated. So let's do a little bit of research. I want to go to pre-owned. Because most of us are going to be finding pre-owned stuff. Actually, should I do that? Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should see if new attack stuff keeps popping up. So I'm not going to filter that actually. And check the more filters and see if we can find any commonalities before we dive into filtering some more on the price. So size, you can see now this. I feel like this is super confusing for a lot of people because if you didn't know, Chicos has their own sizing. So their sizes are like 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and those translate to like a small, medium, large, extra large, which is where I think a lot of people go wrong in listing it and probably why a lot of them don't sell. You can see that these are all listed. There's a lot, thousands listed as size 0 and 2. The buyer's probably not going to be able to find that because it's not actually a US size 2. We try to put both in the title. You can kind of see someone did it here. So a tip for you on Talbots, but it is a little bit harder to navigate for sure because of their size conversions. So in my experience, the larger sizes sell better. I think a size 2 or 3 is a size XL. You can see large and extra large are very heavy in this category. And then the size 2 as well. So hopefully all of these 2s that sold with the 2 and the drop down, everybody did know what they were getting. Let's move on to, we have sleeve length here now. Long sleeve is definitely top dog. 3/4 length sleeve is also pretty good. We also want to keep in mind that we're doing this comp research in the middle of winter, and then moving into spring, people are starting to buy spring stuff. So I think it is important to remember when you're doing the comps as well, because they can change. Take a look at color here. Black is a very popular color, and blue is a very popular color, and multicolor is a very popular color as well. There's also a lot in white. Pattern, animal print is a big one. I'm not really taking a whole lot from pattern because some people fill it out, some people don't fill it out. Sometimes there's not a drop down for the specific pattern, so I think I'm going to skip that one, and let's look at material, which is a little bit more straightforward. A lot in the cotton, a lot in the polyester, and they've added a lot more here. Okay. Neckline, crew neck's really popular. Collared is one of the most popular, and round neck. All right, I think that's all that I want to look for specifically in these filters, but some of those things are good to know. Now let's dive into the pricing. I'm going to set my minimum. I feel like I've got to filter out a lot of stuff, so I'm actually going to set it kind of high at $35 because I want to really filter out what is truly selling well in this brand. And of course, I'm honestly trying to increase my average sale price, but we want to really narrow down what are the bolas. So I think a minimum of $35 for this brand, given that there are 300,000 plus available results that are active for sale, are going to help us to narrow this down a little bit better. So, all right. So here are the filters we have applied. We want anything that is sold, and we want anything over $35. And from here, we are just going to start scrolling, see if we have any commonalities, and keep in mind that we also kept the new with tags items on here as well. I've got my notebook handy, and let's see what we can find. All right, I'm just going to take a mental note that this is a crinkle top because, you know, they sell a lot of tunic blouses, but we have to figure out what the differentiating factors are. So I'm just going to take a mental note for this crinkled texture. Someone also made a whole outfit, which is probably why this sold for so much. Seeing a lot of jackets. There's a couple of suede jackets now. Mental note to that. Oh, more than that. Okay, I'm going to make a note of suede / leather jackets, and we will do some sell-through rate research on that here in a minute. A lot of new with tags stuff seems to be performing pretty well. Here is a silk kimono jacket. A lot of factor stacking going on here. Very unique. In my opinion, I think the unique stuff in Chico sells the best, but I'm just going to make a mental note of that. I also think it's great to kind of see what kind of keywords people are using. Like they used Art Deco, you know, animal print, brocade. Some people are including the MSRP in the title. That's not typically something I do. Here's another set. Chico's also has a black label and a couple of different lines as well. A lot of new stuff, new with tags. You can see this one is a very like bright in your face multicolor tunic blouse. And a lot of the stuff I'm seeing is a size 3 or a size extra large. Long length dress. Long length dress. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. Maxi dress. There's that Chico's black label again. Alright, I definitely have the impression that people really love the new tag stuff at a deep discount on eBay because like almost all of this is new tag, so I think I am going to go back up and filter that out. That has to be a mistake. I doubt that somebody actually paid that. Here's another dress. It's not longer length, but it is long sleeve. There's a bunch of dresses here. These are all a size 2 or 3. I think I'm just going to write down size 2 or 3, and we can kind of compare those sizes in Chico's as far as sell-through rate goes soon. Here is a set. This is their Travelers collection. I have pretty good luck with the Travelers, like slinky stuff. Here's another like jacket coat again. More longer length dresses. Here's Chico's Travelers again. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. I'm noticing a lot of blazers as well. And then this is a suede jacket, which we already wrote down. That's really gorgeous. You can tell that that is super unique. Here's Chico's Travelers again. This one's a jacket hoodie. Travelers. Here's a silk velvet jacket. Kind of like a burnout kimono feel. Here's another set. I'm going to go ahead and write down set. Specifically, I'm seeing a lot of the Chico's Traveler sets. Here's another blazer. I'm going to go ahead and write down blazer. This is funny. This is gorgeous as well. A lot of specific fabric types I'm noticing are performing pretty well. There's more blazer. Here's another one of those burnout velvet items, so I'm just going to write that down. And on to page 2. We have only gone a few days back from where we are currently at. I'll probably stop here in just a moment. Here's another item. This is like a velour velvet, so I guess I should write that down as well. You can see that's very like in your face as well. Very unique. Here's a silk kimono again. Here's that velvet embroidery. That one's really gorgeous. There's another velvet burnout. More dresses. More sets. More velvet kimono jackets. More dresses. See, a lot of the longer length cardigans also are performing pretty well. All right, so we're at the bottom of page 2. We've now gone back probably about, I would say today is February 3rd, so almost a week. All right, and just for fun, let's go to the highest price. There's that one that I don't think was real. This must be like a very specific jacket style that people are looking for. It says it's Chicos. So I guess if you find this, keep your eye out for it. And obviously anything super like out there like this one is. Here's a set. You can definitely tell some of the very like unique long length duster cardigans are performing well. There's another one of those kimonos. These are very like Johnny Was inspired, I feel like. Okay. Here's some more of the velvet pieces as well. All right, let's go back to our comping research. We're going to do a little bit of sell-through rate checks based on the stuff that I have written down right now. I'm going to clear all of these filters. Okay, so we have Chico's suede jacket. 700 available. Only 151 sold. So in my opinion, not worth getting unless you have some factor stacking involved, and you could guarantee, it looks like all of these are a size 3. Some of them are size 2, but I'm seeing a lot of 3s. And to be honest, they're not going for that much, most of them. So to me, it's not worth storing something that large. So I'm going to go ahead and actually cross the suede leather jackets off my list. All right, next up that I wrote down was a maxi dress. $2,300 plus available results. 570 sold. Not a great sell-through rate, but honestly not bad given the fact that we are in the middle of winter and dresses are just now starting to sell. I personally have pretty good luck with longer length and larger size Chico's maxi dresses if and only if they have some like substantial factors, like some factor stacking to them, but it is one to keep in mind, and we'll just have to continue checking the sell-through rate of the dresses as we move closer to spring. But I did see a lot of the maxi dresses in the solds of $35 and up. Next, let's just do a little bit of fun research here. I'm going to look up Chico's tops, which I feel like is what most of us find. I'm going to compare size 2 to size 3. So this is a Chico's top, size 2 in Chico's. 37,000 available results. 8,400 and sold for the size 2. Let's see if it makes a big difference going to 3. 50,000 available results. 11,000 results. I don't know. I feel like those are still both not great. I feel like it's all about the factors for Chico's. I don't think you can just say, hey, everything in this size performs well anymore. All right, next thing I have written down is the Travelers, and I'm just going to search that. Holy cow. There are 80,000 available results. If you guys didn't know, the Chico's Travelers, they're like kind of like that slinky material. Is what most of them have, and I do have pretty good luck with them depending on what they are, so I'll do an example with you here in a moment. But there's 80,000 results in this line, 6,300 in the sold results, so again, just not a great sell-through rate. I have some pretty good luck with the Chico's Travelers pants. Let's just do like some good factor stacking here to see how good the sell-through rate could be. Chico's Travelers pants size 3. We have 1,000 available results. 437, so almost a 50% sell-through rate with that search, which is far better than a lot of things that we have found so far. In general, I do have some pretty good luck selling the Chico's Travelers Slinky pants, but again, at a 50% sell-through rate, is it really worth it to only sell them for like 15-20 bucks? Probably not. That's probably going to have to be something I back down on a little bit. Next thing I had written down were the sets. 1,100 available results. 324, still not looking great, but a little bit better sell-through rate than some of the other things that we saw. So sets definitely, I feel like, could help. Next thing I had written down were the blazers. There are 9,000, only 1,200 in the solds. To me, that's not a good enough sell-through rate to pick up something this large and to store it. Man, I'm so sad. Chico's used to be so good. All right, next let's look up Chico's Velvet, because we saw that Velvet and Velour were performing pretty well. I'm going to start with Velvet. 2,600 available results. 1,400, so about a 50% sell-through rate, and that's honestly pretty good. I do think it would depend on the piece you have. The one that I found in the solds that were performing the best were the burnout velvet jackets, which is basically a combo of velvet and like a silky like material. So we'll search that here in a moment, but here are some of the just like regular velvet items and how they are performing. So for sure velvet does add value. Okay, let's look at velvet burnout. 252 available results, which I feel like that's really great. Like it's a really specific piece in Chico's that we can look for that have really narrowed down the results, and you can tell isn't super oversaturated because there's only 252 available results. So let's see here, 252. 222. We finally found something. So that's not 100% sell-through rate, but I'm going to call it 100% sell-through rate because it's so close. But this is the only thing that I have been able to narrow down in Chico's that has a close to 100% sell-through rate. And depending on what you have, some of them do go for more or less. I would say stuff like this, where it's very unique, longer length, it's definitely like a velvet burnout, that kind of thing performs extremely well. And just in general, if I see velvet burnout in any brand, I'm looking it up. So my analysis for Chico's is that pretty much the only thing that you could probably guarantee a decent sell-through rate and a decent average sale price are their velvet burnout items. Okay, so that is it for this brand's deep dive. With Chico's, I just kind of feel like it is very hit or miss. It used to be a brand I could rely on pretty heavily. I know some people have luck with it. I personally don't. And for me, the data just no longer supports getting it, except for those velvet burnout kimonos and also some of the stuff in the Traveler's collection. But as always, make sure to do your own research and make sure that you consider seasonality, because comps might change here in a couple of months. But that is what is selling right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.